Hi, I'm Kirk Torian.
And I'm Kenneth Conscious.
And we are Astral Talk TV. So on today's episode, we want to talk about the chakras. And I thought that this would be a good subject to talk about because, well, we are healers, we are energy workers, and a lot of people want to know what the chakras entail, what do people do when they heal, and I thought that this would be a good topic to talk about. We all know that we have 7 basic chakras that we work with a whole plethora of chakras outside of those. But today we're going to talk about the first 7 chakras. Okay, so this starts from the root going all the way up to the crown, or some people start from the top to the bottom. So your very first chakra is the root chakra, and that color is red. Your second chakra is your sacral chakra, and that color is orange. Your third chakra is the solar plex chakra, and that color is yellow. So your fourth chakra is the heart chakra, and some people think that the heart chakra, that color is going to be pink, but it's actually green.
Yeah.
Now, right above that, you have your throat chakra, which is blue. You have your third eye chakra, which is purple. And you have your crown chakra, which is more so like a lavender color. So basically with the chakras, they all start and end at certain places. But before we get into that, would you like to talk about the Earth's disk and what that entails?
Yeah. Okay. Well, the Earth disk is that color for that. The Earth disk is a dark brown. So when you think about the Earth's disk, if you want to ground yourself and you don't have a tree near you, or if you're not like outside in nature, what you can actually do is that you can envision the darkest brown you can actually envision, and then imagine branches coming up and wrapping around your feet and wrapping around like your legs and your knees, and you will actually start to feel that vibration. And then once you feel that vibration, that means you are grounded.
Yeah, and I think that's really good because a lot of people live in places that don't have grass to touch on. You know? I don't know if you've ever been to New York before, but
no, I never have.
Yeah, New York has a lot of places that have no grass. It's nothing but cement. You definitely want to ground yourself in a certain way, especially in a busy city like that. So that's why I recommend the Earth's disk too. Now, mind you, the Earth's disk is not a chakra. It's what it is. It's a disk. So basically what it is, of course, it's brown, and you start below the feet. So this is for all my healers and my energy workers out here who want to know where this starts and where it ends, and if you have heard about the Earth's disk. Okay, so you imagine it below your feet. Okay, so you're going to imagine that energy coming up from the core of the Earth, from the Earth's crust. It's going to come up, it's going to come through your legs, through your feet, and it's going to stop at where your kneecaps start. So that's where that's going to end. So that's why when Kenneth said, hey, picture it as tree branches and how they wrap around. So once they wrap around, and you'll feel it too, you'll feel tingling and vibrations going up and down and around your legs too. And it'll instantly get you calm, and it will relieve anxiety, all sorts of things. So it'll just calm you. It literally will ground you. So it stops at the top of your kneecap. The first chakra that we're gonna talk about is the root chakra. It's your very first chakra, and that color is red. So that starts at the top of your kneecap, and it ends at the top of your thigh. Now, when you balance your chakras, what you want to do is imagine the darkest color of all the aspects, the darkest that you can imagine before you spin them, okay? And when you spin it, it could swirl, it could look like a funnel. You know, don't fight it when you spin these chakras. What you see is what you see when they balance. So that color is red. And this deals with just the root of your genetic makeup, your being, okay? So it deals with your confidence. It deals with your will to do things. It deals with how you operate in day-to-day life. So this could be your fight or flight mechanisms, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, so basically everybody wants to talk about this third eye, but the thing is that when your root chakra is knocked off, it knocks off the rest of your chakras too. You cannot be whole without that root chakra at the very least.
I really want to touch on the root chakra because with the root chakra, the government and everything, music, specifically rap music, it's all about survival. You hear about these songs, Mobb Deep, Survival of the Fittest, the drill music. The 808 drum is a very low frequency. The root chakra is around 200, 250 hertz. The 808 is actually lower than that frequency. So when you listen to rap music, what they're trying to do is to keep you always vibrating at that survival mechanism. They want to keep you in survival. They don't want you to open up that chakra and spin that chakra and start to bring that energy up, because when you bring that energy up, it's going to hit the sacral, and it's going to hit the solar, and it's going to get the heart. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to keep everybody trapped in the root chakra. You go to clubs, you're hearing that music. They're trying to keep you stuck in that root chakra. They don't want you to really figure out who you really are. They want to keep you at the lowest as possible. So realize that when you do listen to rap music, yeah, you know, it sounds good, but it keeps you trapped in an animal body. What sounds good, what feels good. They try to keep you in that root chakra right there. So just always keep that in mind. And just know that the goal on this planet is to raise that energy up to all the chakras and get to the crown. And so when you get to that crown, you start to ascend. The ascension process starts when you pass. So I just want to throw that in there.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And you know, on the flip side, if you think about it, that's why a lot of conscious artists are not pushed. You know, because because you have the total opposite. Now you have rap artists out here who operate off of 432 hertz, which is the universal frequency of music and sound. So that's why they're not going to push your Mos Defs, your Commons, and people like that. You know,
they want to push the NBA Young Boys,
trap music,
that trap music,
the lower vibration,
to keep that
root chakra,
exactly.
You see what I'm saying? If you notice that about the industry, they're not going to push positivity or the frequency of beats. If you go back to the neo soul era, you know, of things, which, you know, I guess that was like in the early 2000s, where they had a lot of conscious singers and rappers.
Yeah,
they didn't push those artists they wouldn't push artists like that now. They pushed them back then, but they wouldn't push it now. But the world was more so on a higher vibration back then than it is now, because nothing but negativity is pushed. And you're right about the frequencies and the beats when it comes to the frequencies, because you know, if you do go to a club or if you do go to a bar and they play these types of songs, you see the moods change in people. And if you mix that with alcohol, you have a totally different person.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It brings a different aspect out of that person. So it's definitely funny that you say that. I'm able to see the flip side of it. You know, the 432 hertz versus the hertz that you were talking about. They're two totally different aspects. You know, just thinking about it on what they just don't push nowadays.
Yeah, they don't push that. Yeah. It's like they want to keep us. They want to keep us trapped in this box. Like, you know, and then so they try to throw all this at us, you know, and just to really get us stuck in that root chakra. Like, they just want us thinking about the root, which is survival. You know, the sacral, which is sex.
Absolutely.
And you know, the solar, stomach, hunger. And I was really thinking about it, and I was looking around. A lot of fast food restaurants are usually red and yellow. Wendy's, McDonald's. I started to think, I was like, so when you're eating that food, you're actually eating to the vibration of those colors as well. Because
Burger King, isn't that orange and yellow?
Yeah, it's like red and blue or something. Yeah, it's like red. It's like, it got that red in there. And a lot of these fast food restaurants are 24 hours, all access. McDonald's is open 24 hours a day. So
that's true.
They don't want you to they want to keep you trapped in these three. You know, they don't want you to get to that heart chakra. Because once you get to that heart chakra, you know, that's when the cleansing starts. Have you heard that saying, you know, oh, you know, everything's going to be okay. You know, just get it off your chest.
Right.
So when you get it off your chest, you're actually freeing up that heart. You're freeing up that heart chakra. That's where, you know, a lot of your prana is. Thinking about all the wrong people have done to you. Once you forgive, you start to free up that heart chakra. And then once you free up that heart chakra, you start talking better. Because you don't have all that hate in your heart anymore. And then it goes to the throat. You start speaking better. Then it goes to the third eye. Then you start to be able to see between realms. And then it goes to the crown. And then you'll have access to get messages from those realms.
Absolutely.
So it's very important. I know I went on a little tangent, but
no, not really, because that really coincides with what we're talking about. I mean, you know, we are talking about the chakras.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and I left off at the root. You know, so you're speaking about what they can do.
Yeah.
And I can let everyone know where they start and where they begin. So when you spend them, you know. So the sacral chakra starts at the top of the thigh, and it stops where your sexual organs start. So the sacral chakra is based off of sexuality. It also speaks about your situations, you know, things that you've been through when you were a kid, or just in life in general. You know, if you were violated as a child, or if something happened to you against your will, even as an adult. You know, what happens is that your sacral chakra can be underactive or it can be overactive. So you want a healthy chakra, period. No matter what chakra it is, you just want it to be well balanced. You don't want it underactive or overactive. Now, if it's underactive, it could speak to feeling guilty about sex, not wanting to have that based off of a situation. Or if it's overactive, one could be highly sexual, have a lot of sexual partners, very promiscuous because of things that happened to them sexually in their past. You know, that's why it's oftentimes good to balance that chakra, to make sure that it's well balanced, so you kind of don't see humans as sex objects everywhere you go. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So the solar plex chakra, basically it starts at where you're at the top of your navel, and it goes all the way up to your breastbone. That is your solar plex, and that color is yellow, and that's your will to do things. So basically, when we talk about that, think about people at the workplace. People at the workplace who are workaholics, people who work double shifts all the time, people who have to always move around all the time, make sure everything is perfect, things like that. You know, people like that have.
I know a lot of people like that.
People like that have an overactive solar plex chakra. You know, now when I heal people, I'm able to see these things within them. I can look and tell when someone's chakra is overactive. I can see it's just spinning. I can see when it's underactive, you know, when it's like a dull color, you know, when that color is, it's not
like dim.
Yeah,
right?
It's dim.
Yeah.
It's dim. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's just a regular color when it's well balanced. You know what I mean? So someone who has an underactive solar plex chakra, I mean, these people may not want to work, period. They may live in their parents' basement and smoke weed and play video games
all
for
day.
the rest of their life. I mean, you know, what are you doing? Oh, I'm playing Fortnite. I'm on 24 hours with no sleep. And
I'm playing Call of Duty, you know, stuff like that.
Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So it's that solar plex chakra, but and right above that is the heart chakra. So the heart chakra starts at your breastbone and it ends where your collarbone is. And that color is green. Now, what you said about the heart chakra is true. Forgiveness. Forgiving people for what they've done. Not forgiving people for them. You have to forgive people for yourself. And a lot of people tell you that, the church folks say that, but when they say that, they just keep it cut and dry right there. They don't tell you what happens after. Because in all actuality, if your heart chakra is blocked, not only is it internal pain that's happening within your body, which could cause dis-ease, but you're having these people and these situations live rent-free in your head, you know, which is not a good thing. And on top of that, if you are able to release that, you forgive people for you, not for them. Because when your heart chakra is blocked, you're blocked from manifestations. The things that you're trying to manifest will not come to you. And that is a key thing. That is one chakra right there that if it's blocked, you cannot manifest when that chakra is blocked.
It's really hard for people to unblock that chakra because this world can be a nasty place.
It really
This world can be a very nasty place, and you could walk around with a lot of hate in your heart. You could walk around with so much hate, and you're feeling like, sometimes you feel like you don't even want to be here anymore. But that's the process of being on this planet. You're going to go through a lot of trials and a lot of tribulations on this planet. And once you get that energy past the heart chakra, everything changes. Everything changes. Love and forgiveness is one of the best things you can do when you open up the heart chakra, along with 528 frequency. The 528 frequency, listen to that frequency. And when you listen to that frequency, you can hold the mudra, the Hidaha mudra. You can hold this mudra, and you can actually feel everything releasing. And you're going to start crying. You're going to get it out of you. Crying is the best thing you can do to release. When you release, the energy literally falls off you. And once it falls off you, your vibration raises. And then you start walking around, people looking at you different. People like, man, you know how you walk around, and it's like, man, like, you know, he's glowing.
Yeah, he looks much lighter.
He looks much lighter.
Yeah,
because our heart chakra is free.
Yeah,
like
you don't
that.
want all that pain in your face.
Exactly.
So demonstrate what that mudra looks like.
So that mudra,
you want to use this to release.
You want to hold this mudra like this. The Hidaha mudra. You want to hold this mudra like this, just like this. You hold it with both hands, and you can just sit there. And you can just meditate. You can just meditate. And when you meditate with that mudra, just imagine everything just falling off you. Imagine everything just falling off you. Imagine forgiving that person about whatever that happened to you. Just imagine you forgiving that person, because we are not human first. We're spirit first. We are spiritual beings living a human experience. You are not a human with a soul. You are a soul with a body. You came down here to raise the vibration of this planet up. So just always remember, always let go to free up the heart chakra.
Yeah, I agree. And with that being said, we're going to go to the throat chakra. And the throat chakra, of course, that color is blue, and it's going to start at your collarbone, and it's going to stop at the tip of your nose. Now, like I said, imagine the darkest color blue that you can imagine, and you're going to spin that chakra. So the throat chakra, of course, is just what it is. And when it's blocked, or if it's underactive, what it is that people have a hard time speaking their truth. They may stutter a lot. It's a lot of things that can happen when it's underactive. Now, when it's overactive, you might find somebody who cuts people off all the time when they talk, or they talk really fast, or they talk a lot.
Talk too much.
Yeah,
just,
talk
somebody
too much.
just won't be quiet.
Just won't be quiet. Just keep going on and on and on
Yeah.
and on, and won't take a breath between a sentence. So right above that, which is everybody's favorite chakra, is the third eye chakra.
It's my favorite. That's my favorite. Wait, that and the crown. But
Yeah.
that third eye, I love that third eye.
Yeah, the third eye is pretty cool. So the third eye basically is from the tip of your nose to your forehead right here. So, and that color is purple. And of course, that deals with seeing in between the realms. This deals with your intuition. This also coincides with your sacral chakra for you mediums out here. Understand that the sacral chakra and the third eye chakra, they work simultaneously for you to do what you do, how you get your messages, and then some. So basically, we talk about the third eye, which is the pineal gland. But to get better at what it is, you open up that pineal gland, aka the third eye or the Ajna chakra. But the pituitary gland is right behind the pineal gland. So that's what you want to do. You want to open that up, and therefore your messages will be on steroids. And if you know any mediums out here, you'll know that their pituitary gland and their pineal is equally activated and well balanced, because you'll be able to see and hear, and you'll be able to get your messages out. And so when it's underactive, you're not able to hear anything. You're not able to see anything. Your intuition isn't as potent as it is. You don't trust your gut feeling when you feel like something isn't right. So by spinning that in the darkest color purple that you can, it will activate that. And of course, meditation will strengthen it as well. And last but not least is the crown chakra. So that's from here, probably about a few inches above your head. And that color is more so like a lavender color. And basically what that is your crown will be open, and messages from the divine will come down. And that's where you get your claircognizant people. You know, clairvoyance is more so the third eye. It could coincide with the crown chakra too, but claircognizant is more so with the crown. And some people's crown are wide open, and they're just getting messages all the time. You know, they kind of see things before they happen.
This dude.
You know,
Let me just. I remember I was doing a healing. I was doing healing on him, and as soon as I got to his crown, everything on my body it's like I got hit with a wave of energy. And I was like, I was actually able to see like deities, like yo, man, like, you know, they're up here. And you're like, well, what do they want? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, well, go ask them.
Yeah, like why are deities above me?
Yeah,
like, what in the world is going on here? Yeah. You
But
know?
it's just to show you, like, once your crown is open, you reach, it's just another level. Once you reach that level, you're going to start getting a lot of energies wanting to speak to you, because it's not easy to get your crown open. It's not easy to get, like, from the root. This is not easy. This is a hard process. So once you finish that process, you're going to start getting energies from different realms, from different galaxies, from different dimensions, because they're all watching. They are all, let me tell you this, they are all watching. So if you're progressing at a rapid rate, they will come down and say, hey, how you doing? Let's talk. So yeah, that crown.
That is true. And that just goes for anybody on this planet too. Like when you transition, when you pass away from this planet, you do get to see everything on this planet in a bird's eye view. You know, you really can. So keep that in mind as well. Funny thing you talk about when you were healing me with the crown chakra. I know when I first started teaching you, I remember you hadn't really experienced any type of healing at that particular time those years ago. So what was, if you can remember, what was your experience like the first time that I healed you?
Wow, the first time Kirk healed me, he told me, he said, "Hey, you're a healer." I was like, "No, I'm not." He's like, "Yeah, you are, you're a healer." And I always thought about that from that day. After that, we talked a little bit, and then I was walking around and my hands were just buzzing. They wouldn't stop buzzing. And I was like, wow, like, why are my hands buzzing like this? And then I started to do a little bit of research, and then I found out that, wow, I really am a healer. And a lot of you out there could be healers. Like if anybody's coming and try to talk to you, if they're always like, feel like they can just trauma dump on you, tell you all about their problems. If you got a person that says, I don't know why, but I always want to just tell you things. Like, you probably could be a healer because you can make them feel better through your words. But also you could have that ability to heal with your hands as well. And when I got that healing, I started to just really, like, my hands would heat up. Then my whole body would start to heat up. And then, I started to go to different, okay, when he heals you, I'm going to tell you this, like, he opens up gifts in you. I was always an astral traveler, but after the healing, he was able to remove like blockages that I had. Like, I had a lot of blockages, and almost every night I would wake up and I'll be in another realm. I'll be in another galaxy. So I was just like, wow. And then, a year later, Astro Talk TV.
that is quite something.
Yeah.
That is quite something. And, once you heal yourself or heal other people, when you spin these chakras also, my recommendation is that you end it off with a seal of protection. You can find beyond hundreds of people on YouTube and other platforms who talk about this. And it's very simple. All you do is you just imagine a bright white light surrounding your whole entire body, and you implement that protection on you with the intention of it protecting you from harm. And do this every day before you leave your home. You'll be happy that you did it. You'll see how your day goes and how it turns out differently once you implement that, Yeah.
I do want to talk about the third eye a little bit, because it is my favorite chakra, but I want to talk about a little bit of star seeds as well. So the indigos are star seeds, and they were born in the 60s. In the 60s and the 80s, these indigos were born. And when these indigos come to this planet, a lot of them have been diagnosed with ADHD. People say they're bouncing off walls. They don't like to fit in with society. They resist all this programming that this society has pushed on them.
Right.
But what's actually is happening is that, like, they're very highly vibrational, and they don't respond to constriction well. So they're actually here to heal the planet. And a lot of indigos, they come with active pineal glands. So a lot of these kids with ADHD, what's actually happening is that their minds are moving at a faster rate, and the pineal gland is already activated. And if you're an indigo child and you start sun gazing, man, like, a lot of things start happening. I just want to touch on the indigo child and the indigo children a little bit with the star seeds and everything, because a lot of indigos, they have come to this planet. And it was revealed to me that I'm actually an indigo child as well. And I think you are too. I'm pretty sure Kirk is too.
I'm an Arcturian starseed.
Yeah, see, and I got to do more research on that as well.
Yeah, we're protectors, we're healers. We don't fit in anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely an Arcturian starseed. Definitely not from here, but we're lone wolves, basically. We're here just to raise the vibration of the planet. We're here to protect people and to heal people. Healing and protecting are our biggest missions on this planet. We have other missions as well, but there's so many star seeds out there from so many different constellations, and when we
Exactly.
do come together and then we work together, we actually can fight to raise the vibration and the frequency of the planet. But us as star seeds, we are targeted a lot too.
Exactly.
There are a lot of people of low vibration and energies out here, seen and unseen, who do not like what we do.
Yeah.
So what they want to do
Exactly.
is, when they see that bright light that we have, they want to blow that light out. So
Yes.
a lot of star seeds can undergo a lot of stress,
Yes.
depression, feelings of wanting to leave this world prematurely. So
Yeah.
by knowing that, by being in the company with other star seeds who know that they're star seeds, there's a common mission that I believe that can be completed, to come together.
Exactly, because a lot of star seeds, if you're a star seed, they have the most difficult time on this planet.
Absolutely.
They have the most difficult time on this planet because they don't fit in. I was always trying to fit in, but then when I would fit in, I would always feel that, hey, I'm not supposed to do this. I've always felt there was something more.
Didn't feel good.
Yeah, it didn't feel good. Like, I always felt there was a mission that I was on, and I just couldn't remember.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this mission? What is this mission?
Right.
And then I'm seeing numbers everywhere.
Right.
1111, 333. I'm seeing all these numbers.
Yeah.
The whole school system, the whole money system, the whole time, like, it's like everything that we see is an illusion.
It is, and it can get really rough out here, like you said, being a star seed.
Yeah.
But compare that, or add on to that, being a shaman, plus being a star seed.
Yeah.
It's glitz and glamour to everybody else from the outside looking in when they say, oh, you're a shaman or you're a star seed. Oh, it looks so magical. Oh, you could do this or you could do that. But nobody talks about what really goes on in the star seed or a shaman's life. So if you're a star seed and a shaman, we have a lot of ups and downs that we have to deal with in our personal lives and internally.
Yeah.
At times we feel like the whole world is just crashing down on you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you still have to be of service to the collective. That is a very hard pill to swallow.
Exactly.
But the thing is that when, with great power comes great responsibility. So when you are given this mission, it doesn't matter what you have going on, you're still forced to do your mission, to do what you were put here to do. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. People who are spiritualists, who have these missions to do, versus people who are, I don't want to say regular people, but just people of the matrix who just get up, go to work, and everything to do is earthly and nothing is spiritual. We are held at a higher standard. You know what I mean? So there's certain things that people who are non-spiritual can do that we as spiritualists cannot do. Yeah. So it's very interesting.
It feels like nobody understands you.
Yeah,
it feels like nobody understands you, and then when you do tell them, they look at you like you're crazy.
Like you have four heads.
Yeah. And it's just like,
they're not meant to understand though. That's the thing, and I learned that long ago, that you cannot, under any circumstances, feel any type of way when people don't understand what you do, or what your purpose or what your destiny is. You can't.
Yeah.
So, or what happens after you perform a service for someone. You may heal them, and this ailment may be no more. This pain may go away permanently, and then the first thing they say is, thank you, Jesus, when you're the one who did it. You know what I mean? The things that used to upset me years ago, I learned that you have to do it without expecting anything in return. As long as you help the person and that they feel a sense of wholeness, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? It's not about all the other stuff, because then you're operating out of the root chakra again.
Yeah. It brings you right back down
to that earthly vibration.
And that's where the elite want you.
Exactly.
They are so afraid and they're so terrified that it's like they planned for this. It's like they knew we were coming back. They knew we were coming back to this planet, and then they try to put everything against you. Everything. Sports, everything, casinos, money. They just try to get you so brainwashed in this illusion. And then once you step out and look in and go a different way, then you're looked at as a bad guy.
Absolutely. And they know these things from the day that you're born. The day that you're born. I mean, you know, when you're born, there's certain things that happen within a hospital that a lot of people don't think of. I mean, the mothers know, you know, how basically, well, there's blood samples that are taken, obviously, when you're first born to see what blood type you have and other things. You know, there's other things that are research that we don't know about. You know, when a woman has a baby, you know, the placenta's there. Why are the doctors taking the placenta? The only thing they cannot take is the umbilical cord. They take everything else. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So some women, they're fighting to keep the placenta, and some famous actresses, they plant their placenta under a tree, and everybody's like, well, what are they doing? You know, they know what they're doing out here.
Yeah.
You know, because you are monitored, and if you have special gifts, you are being looked at from forces that are around us and forces that we cannot see, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, because it is, you know, it's 2025 now, and a lot of people's, like, their powers are turning on.
Age of Aquarius.
Their powers are turning on. People are figuring out who they are now.
They are.
And now they're not afraid.
Right.
So now everybody they're scrambling. You know,
are.
they're scrambling right now. It's our duty to help and heal the planet and just finish out this mission. It gets hard because this mission is very lonely. This mission is very lonely. It's like I have no friends. I don't have this. I don't have that. But at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? I came here to do a mission. And I know once I pass, it's just everything. Like, I'm going to go back to the higher realms and be like, wow, like I was on Earth.
Oh man, doing all this.
I have a feeling that these galaxies and, you know, these extraterrestrials, I would feel like Earth is like a big topic in space. I know space is huge, but I have a feeling that Earth is a topic. You know, everybody's trying to come here. You know, that's why we see the Anunnaki, planet Nibiru. Some people are saying that planet Nibiru is actually coming back in our orbit, and we're going to have some Anunnaki visitors. So it's just like a lot of things is going on with this planet. So
yeah, it is.
Yeah, man, this is just crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy. Yeah.
Well, good topic today, I guess.
Yeah, that was a good topic. Yeah, that was a good topic today.
Yeah, I guess with that, I think we'll close. I hope you all like this episode, and with all talks about the chakras and the Starseed system and everything else that we talked about, you know, we hope you all enjoyed this episode. Comment down below and let us know what you thought about this video.
Yeah, let us know, and if you guys have any things that you want us to talk about or want us to discuss, you know, let us know, because we're always looking to talk about new topics and we want to know what you want us to talk about. So just let us know.
Absolutely. And with that being said, like, share, and subscribe, and we will talk to you later.
Peace.